Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. And today I'm going to do the Disney book tag, which has been around for like a really long time, and I've never done it, and there's a couple reasons why. Number one, I can never find the original book tag on who originally did it. And number two is, I know, do not kill me, I have not seen that many Disney movies. I've seen like 101 Dalmatians, The Little Mermaid, but I didn't see The Little Mermaid till like last year. And there was a couple other ones, some of the Pixar movies I've seen, but like the mainstay Disney movies, like The Lion King and those, I have never seen. And my husband, he's always like, I cannot believe you haven't seen The Lion King, but I haven't. So, I don't know, you know, like Dumbo, I've never, Bambi, I've never seen any of those. So list below what Disney movie you think that I have to see. Like if I was to see one Disney movie in my life, what Disney movie would it be? List it below so that I know like which one you think I should go see, because I can't watch all of them, obviously, although I know that would be nice, wouldn't it? But I'm sure there's people out there that own all of them and have seen all of them and whatever. But this is not a movie review channel, this is a booktube channel. So let's get right into the Disney book tag. I haven't looked at any of the questions except for the beginning, like the first 3 words of the first question. So I am actually reading this from Kat's video, and this was published on 2015, so it's really old. Number 1, The Little Mermaid. A character who is out of their element, a fish out of water. Okay, let's see. God, that would be really, really good. Okay, so I'm gonna pick the main character, I can't remember what his name is, from Bill Konigsberg's Openly Straight. I just read it like this summer. And it's about an openly gay kid that goes to a boarding school, an all-male boarding school, and decides to go back in the closet to kind of have that experience. And it was really interesting how it was done. It was done very, very well. At first, I didn't like the concept. It went against everything that I philosophically believe. Obviously, that was what it was supposed to do, is kind of make the reader uncomfortable. But it was very well done, very interesting. I really, really liked it. Okay, number 2, Cinderella, a character who goes through a major transformation. You know, I'm gonna pick Ramona Blue from Julie Murphy's Ramona Blue. I don't know that I would say that she goes through a major outward transformation. She goes through a major inward transformation. You know, and having these beliefs about herself and then going forward and reevaluating who she is, and you'd have to read the book to really understand it. But it is really a book of constant change, and I think like the more, like, do you ever read a book and then you sit back from it, and like the more you sit back from it, the more you learned about what you thought about the book, if that makes sense? And the more I sit back from that book, what I realize is I really identify with the character of Ramona Blue, and that in my mind, my beliefs and all of that change over time, constantly change on a day-to-day basis, and something that I believe to be true today may not be true tomorrow, and that's okay, and I'm evolving and I'm changing as a person. And, you know, I think it's important to allow ourselves to do that. So I think, like, of the last year, she's probably the main character that I've read that has gone through the most transformation. Number 3, Snow White, a book with an eclectic cast of characters. Maggie Stiefvater's All the Crooked Saints. The whole book, there's not really a main character. The whole book is just kind of like this, you know, entourage of like amazing characters. Really deeply thought out, colorful characters. And, you know, it's an ensemble cast. It's beautiful. It's so well done. It is one of my favorite books of this year. It's going to be really hard at the end of the year for me to come up with my top 10 list, because I have so many so far, but All the Crooked Saints will definitely be up in there because it was so well done. So that would be my pick for that one. Number 4, Sleeping Beauty, a book that put you to sleep. Oh, you guys. Okay, well, I haven't even finished it, but I'm reading right now Joe Hill's Heart-Shaped Box. It is so Borsville to me. I don't know why. It's like, maybe it's because I'm reading it on the heels of reading Hell House by Richard Matheson. They're 2 paranormal books, and it's just like enough is enough already. But and people love Joe Hill, like, you know, and he's Stephen King's son, and you can tell he's Stephen King's son in the writing. Their writing is actually very similar to me. In what I've read of Stephen King, they're very similar writers. Well, I mean, it's a well-written novel. It just is kind of, I find myself so bored and just kind of drifting off. Like, I'm just not interested in it whatsoever. Number 5, The Lion King, a character who had something traumatic happen to them in childhood. Well, I mean, that would be like every character that I read about in every book. So let's see, something that happened to them in childhood. The Great American Whatever by Tim Federall is about a kid that is gay, and he's kind of pseudo out of the closet, but his sister, who was like, he was really, really close with, that was a year older than him, was killed in a car accident. And it's basically the premise of the whole book. And it's something that he has to like work through the whole book. And the reason why I picked that is that I think it's done so well as far as like a childhood. I mean, it's not childhood as far as like 5 years old, but it's really well done because he plays a part in it. And it's him working kind of through that in a very organic way. And I just think it's beautifully done. I did not love the book, but I thought that was beautifully done. I didn't dislike the book. It just wasn't one of my favorites. Okay, Beauty and the Beast. A beast of a book, a big book that you were intimidated by, but found the story to be beautiful. Six of Crows. I mean, I have talked kind of negatively about Six of Crows on here, but I was like intimidated by the size at first because I knew like, well, I knew that it was a duology. I didn't know that you had to read the second book. Okay, so let me just put that out there. I'm not that bright when it comes to duology series, those kinds of things. I thought you could just read one and like if you didn't like it, not read the rest. I didn't realize it would literally like end mid-scene. Not happy about that, Lee Bardugo. But anyway, even though it was not necessarily my thing, it wasn't one of my favorite books, I thought that it was beautifully written. I thought the story was beautifully woven. I could visualize it as a movie. Oh, what's the one that I read? Oh, somebody will know what I'm talking about. The Circus, the Little Rev or whatever. And do you guys know what I'm talking about? That one. Oh my God, I was so intimidated by it. Oh shoot, why can't I think of the name of that book? That's the one they should make into a movie. And it's about the two magicians, the girl and the guy, and that you like, okay, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Somebody put it in the comment section below. That's been driving me crazy. I've been thinking of that book a lot lately, and I mean, I could go in Goodreads and find it right now, but I can't remember what that book is called. I don't know why. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Where at the very beginning, the two magicians, they like, okay, so anyway, and the girl, and okay, anyway. Number 7, Aladdin, a character who gets their wish granted for better or worse. A character who gets their wish granted for better or worse. Here, I've got to go into my Goodreads. I am sorry, you guys. I'm like, a character that gets their wish granted for better or for worse. I'm trying to like think. Well, I was going to say Dumplin', Willow Dean from Dumplin', but let's see what I've read. Okay, the main character in Final Girls, she gets her wish granted at the end of the book, but I don't think it's the wish that she wanted, you know? And I love those books where it's like, be careful of blessings in disguise because you might not be really sure what you're really wishing for. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, let me think of another one too. Yeah, you know, I mean, I think it's like that kind of book where it's like they get what they wanted, but they didn't really realize that what they wanted was the opposite of the truth, if that makes sense. And I love that. I love that kind of play on that in books. So that would be what I would pick as Final Girls. And that's kind of a reach, but whatever. Number 8, Mulan, a character who pretends to be someone or something they are not. Oh, well, again, Final Girls, there's a major character in there that pretends to be somebody that she's not, and it is such an integral part of the book, but you don't, the way, and me saying this is not spoiling it for you because you won't see it coming. I'm just telling you right now, like, you might have guessed pieces of it, but the way that it happens is you won't guess how it. I guess I liked Final Girls more than I want to admit that I did. I don't know. It's gotten really bad reviews, and so I think, like, you know, whenever books get bad reviews or good reviews, I think we tend to kind of like go this way or the other with it, you know? But Final Girls was actually not bad. I liked it, I think. And there's a major character in there, well, those two major characters in there that are not who they they are not who they present themselves to be. And the way that it's done is very, very, very hidden and mysterious, and it plays into the mystery of the book, and I love it. And I think that we have one more, two more. Toy Story, a book with characters you wish would come to life. Oh my God, so many. Well, oh my God, Maggie Stiefvater, All the Crooked Saints. I mean, I wish there was a town like, it's Bicho Raro, I think is what it's called. I butchered that name. But I wish there was a town like that where you could go and like meet all these fantastic people and these pilgrims and these miracle saints. And it's just such a beautiful book. Like, I wish that place existed, you know? And then 10, oh, Hogwarts, of course, too. I would love if Hogwarts existed. Number 10, Disney Descendants, your favorite villain or morally ambiguous character. I am not a reader that loves villains. I just don't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't love villains. And I will tell you that I'm gonna give a different answer to this than I usually give on this, because this always comes up and I always say the Lunar Queen from the Lunar Chronicles. But I'm gonna say Willow Dean from Dumplin' by Julie Murphy. Willow Dean, who is Dumplin', is very self-deprecating. She's very negative, and I would say to some degree her attitude is so negative that it kind of makes her into villain quality. I mean, she's not a villain, right, at all. She's the main character, and she's lovable, and she's beautiful, but lovable almost to the point where you can't stand her lovable, if that makes sense. And I did love her, and the book is fantastic, and you just have to read it to understand what I mean by that. But that quality of being self-deprecating, which I don't like in people, you know. Oh, like one of my least favorite things is when the kids say, I'm literal trash. I hate that when people say that about themselves and they put themselves down. I am just not somebody that is into people putting themselves down. I just don't like it at all, and I correct them with quickness if they do it. So for me, that would be such a negative quality that I would see that as a villainous, so to speak, in Dumplin'. If you guys have not read Dumplin' by Julie Murphy, you have to read it. It is like, I mean, I talk about it in almost all of my videos, and I absolutely loved it. So, well, that was the Disney book tag, and leave in the comment section below what Disney movie that you think that I must see. Out of those categories, I haven't seen, I don't think any of them but the Little Mermaid, and I don't even remember it. I remember the Jenna Marbles video about the Disney princesses, where she's like, la, 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 more than I remember the Little Mermaid, if that tells you anything. So, all right, you guys, I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.